Stumping on one of those crazy parties. He ain't gonna go. He ain't gonna go. He ain't gonna go. He ain't gonna go. We rocked that whole building. The building was rocking. We ain't go. He ain't gonna go. But he ended up going. So Billy was always talking to me and calling me. He had two nicknames he called me, or three: Booski, Bo, and Linda Bo. But he knew my uncles in my family called me Linda Bo and Bo. And even my uncle who was there at the funeral on yesterday, the memorial yesterday, was calling me Bo. So he always called me Booski, Bo, or Linda Bo. All the time. He never just called me just Linda. He just called me one of those three names. And he really took me in as a sister. He really treated me like a sister. And it was really hard because he talked to me down through the years. You know how when a person talks to you down through the years and you know something is going on with them, but they don't really let you know? So Billy talked to me down through the years about his health all the time. I mean, literally called me all the time, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, like that. Way back in the day, he would call and talk to me about his health, and we would chit-chat, and I would tell him some things that I knew because I had been a nurse by that time, and I was trying to help him here and help him there, and navigate here, navigate there. But he never would just solidly say what the real deal was. He never did that. And so and I'm the kind of person that I'm not going to pry and be doing stuff like that, so I just accepted what he gave me, and I would give him back whatever he asked me. But, so even when it got down to his illness this last road, where he was really ill, he still wouldn't share. He wouldn't share. So, and I wouldn't probe, because I believe in respecting, I believe in respecting you and what you feel and what you think more than what I feel and what I think. So I respected that, and I kind of turned him over to his brother, because they had this huge bond that started deeply once the illness got a hold of him. And so Casey was able to talk to him and pastor him and brother him all at the same, a combination, love on him. And so it was that part was beautiful. I just stepped away. I stepped back to let that relationship grow deeper and more confident. Because you'd be surprised how a person, the fact that he's your pastor, and you've watched him over a period of years, how if some crises come in your life, you feel good about stepping up and confiding in them. And so he felt real good about confiding in him. And so I was very satisfied with that. But we loved each other all the time. We went to Niagara Falls together, me, Ruth, and him. We all went to, just on a whim, we just drove up to Niagara Falls, us couples, Ruth and Willie, me and Casey, and Billy and Rose. It was just a blessed time. We had a blessed time, and we didn't let time get wasted. We did things together in our younger days. Some of it was in the juke joints. We were there a lot. We were over in the juke joints. I call them juke joints because they were crazy places, dark places. You go in, it's crazy in here. We don't even go to have places like that anymore. But at any rate, I loved him and he loved me. And that's one thing I know. He loved me. And so I wanted to just leave that. I just wanted to leave those words that Billy loved me and I loved him and he knew that.
Amen. Yes. Amen. Amen. Don't everybody go up at the same time.
Praise the Lord, everybody.
Hallelujah.
I'm going to be quick. Uncle Billy was the reason why I went out of town. My first ever time leaving the state of Illinois was with my dear and Uncle Billy Jr. And we stopped so many places and seen so many sights. I was like all 11, 12 years old, but I remember being so excited. I ain't never seen Tennessee, Arkansas, and then I got the biggest plate, the biggest plate of pancakes you could ever imagine. Like, whoa. But Uncle Billy, we jammed the whole ride there. The music he played, his words were so impactful to me, just as a little kid. And then as I got older, he always told me to stay focused, stay strong. So I'm gonna miss my uncle, but I know what's up and how he in a better place.
That's right.
So, Minister Epting, Stewart. The most memorable thing to me about him was, man, like the way when he walked in the room, like you always seen a smile on his face, and you felt love from him, and he always gave love. And so that's one of the things that always held me together, because I always got that love from my mom, my grandma, my sister. So, just seeing that comparison of the love, it was just like, it was amazing, because it was always a connection, and he connected with everybody.
Yes, he did.
So, yeah, that's my most memorable thing about him. Like, I don't think that'll ever be forgotten. So, yeah, the love that the smile that he always had, the happiness and the love that he showed for people.
Oh, yeah.
And those of you who know, they was messing me in the back when I came in. And they said, do Billy, I heard you doing so well. So here you go. Jesus. Hallelujah. Hey!
You come take it.
Morning, Saints. So,
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of one-on-one time with Uncle
I said when I go
Billy.
there, you were.
But the one thing that was most memorable was the first time I shook his hand, and I was like, man, this old dude is strong. And I was just like, I'm looking him up, and I'm sizing him up, and I'm looking like, okay, like his knuckles, something's not right about him. But that always stuck with me, and I always kind of remembered him as being strong. And even through his ordeal, he carried himself, with a lot of strength, and that was really admirable. And Billy was, a cool dude, so I'm definitely gonna miss him. Yeah. So that was my most memorable moment about Billy.
Amen. The first time I met Minister Epting Stewart was when we were in the mission over there on Madison Street, and that's when he started coming over on Madison Street. And he was always a man of wisdom. He always had words to give you that would encourage you. And my most memorable moment was one time Pastor had him and Rose drop me off back at my mom's house. We were coming from somewhere, and I literally almost bust a gut laughing at him and Rose in the back seat of their car that I could not even breathe. Could not breathe. They had me laughing so, and he was like, soot. He just kept talking, and she couldn't get a word in edgewise. And then he would turn around, don't be laughing at us. And I'm like, I can't help it. But and the other thing is that I always would teach the pastor and say, I know when you mad at success. Because you would always have Minister Epting get up there and recommend the oldest pulpit. Because Minister Epting would go on and on and on. But the thing about that is when you got home and replayed it in your mind, you heard words of wisdom. You heard him, the urgency of his relationship with God. And wanting to be obedient to leadership. Because that was his thing. He was a sergeant of arms, and he wanted us to follow what was coming across the pulpit. And so he reinforced that. He never went against that. He always reinforced that. And so that was something that was great. He made sure that we were in line when Pastor and First Lady would go out of town and he was here. He made sure that whatever Pastor taught, It was the same thing when he stood on that pulpit. He gave the same directive. They was on one accord.
Yes, yes.
And so Pastor could always count on him to make sure that we were in line. And so you would appreciate those times because you go back and you remember the times when he stood up there and he told us. And so for those of you, I'm just going to do an announcement. If you have not been on Grace Book, Minister Epting will tell you to go forward. Don't stop reading your word because we got an assignment to fulfill. So if you have gotten behind, know in your ear that he's saying, get it together and move forward. Catch up. Because at the end of the year, you got to be complete. And so that's what we'll remember about him. That he wanted us to be successful in God. And the safest place in the whole wide world is in the arms of Jesus. And that gave us comfort to know that he's in the arms of Jesus.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
My little stubborn, I ain't gonna call him stubborn. I'm calling strong will. Little brother Billy Epting Stewart. He hated for me to call him my little brother. And he said, grow as you are. No, you're not. I'm older than you. He said, so? But I was telling Pastor and the First Lady about when I rode to Mississippi with him one time. Lord help me. Before we got on I-57, Billy was talking. Ruth, you remember this? And no, Billy, I don't. Yes, you do. No, I don't. I don't remember that. And then he just kept on talking. And y'all know it's about 12 hours from Illinois to Mississippi. Billy talked from Illinois to Mississippi non-stop.
Oh my God.
You know, when I ride with Pastor and First Lady, I can take a nap. They be talking to one another, you know. But not with Billy. I have to stay awake. Billy was staying awake 12 hours. Billy was talking. But that's what I remember about my little brother. But another thing I remember about him, as Pam was saying, I called him one night and he said, Mother Wiglet, where are you at in your reading? And I got behind. I told him I was behind. He said, now listen, I'm going to give you a formula. And you follow that and you stay ahead. He told me to read 10 chapters of each book every day. And I thank God that I took his advice, I did it. I stay ahead. I'm ahead, y'all. Hallelujah. Because of Minister Epting Stewart. Because of listening to him. I didn't say, oh no, you just my little brother. I'm not going to listen to you. But I took his advice, and it worked. It worked. It worked. Another time, when Pastor and I visited him in the hospital, he asked the nurse for some water. And y'all know Billy loves cold ice water. And she asked him if he want any ice. He said no. Bring me some water. So she brought him, the nurse was smart, she brought him a glass of water and a glass of ice. And then he told him, give me some water. So I put a straw in there and I handed him the water with no ice in it. He said, this water ain't cold. It's just some hot water. You giving me some hot water. I said, well, you told the nurse you didn't want any ice. No, I didn't. He said, yes, you did. I didn't. Okay, so I took the cup with the ice and poured it into the cup with the water and gave it to him. He said, now that's water. I want to say, you little dark, self-will thing, you did say that. But those are the loving memories I'm going to have of him. Oh, I got almost 1 million memories, but I'm not going to tell you all about the memories when he was a little boy. Billy was something else, y'all. He had his way. I was telling them also that whenever Mother would cook and Billy didn't like it, or we said we didn't like it, we either had to eat it or go to bed hungry. And Billy said he didn't like it, Billy didn't have to eat it. He got his way. And I said, oh my God, and he wanted to leave here. He wanted to go home to be with God, so he got his way again. Billy got his way with God. I love my little brother. And I'm always, when I think of him, I think of the crazy things he did. Oh, about that trip in Niagara Falls. Remember when we had to go to the haunted house?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Billy scared us.
Oh my God.
And he was going through, we were going through, and there was no ugly thing reaching out to us, and it was really dark in there. And he did it to Rose. Rose screamed, she said, I'm going to tell my deal on you. And Billy just laughed, he just cried, laughing. But he scared us so bad. Billy was Billy. That's all I can say. In that haunted house, I don't know how he did, how he could see, it was so dark in there to scare us. He had him close me and Rose, he had us going. But I'm so thankful to God that you all loved him and respected him. Now, you all cannot complain now about him getting up here and talking long-winded. Now he can talk as long as he wants to, right? And nobody will shut him up. Oh, my little brother, he hated that name and his nickname. I'm not going to say it, Billy. A lot of them know it, but I'm not going to say it. And he had another nickname, he called you Babushki. Hey, Babushki. I'm remembering the good times we had. And the crazy times. And Billy, as Johnny was saying, he was very strong. And strong-willed. When he got shot, I was told that Billy was running after the man that shot him, and he was all shot up. He was determined to get back first.
Yep.
That was Billy. Y'all got a heritage. Poppy, Ollie, his great nephews, Lawrence. That's why you crazy too. You got it for your uncles. Your granddaddy and your uncles. That's why y'all crazy Billy. And you gotta know that's crazy. He all shot up and you weren't trying to catch the man that killed him. That was my brother though. That was my little strong-willed brother. I'm not gonna call him stubborn. And don't y'all call him stubborn. He was strong-willed. He had a mind of his own. And if he was wrong, you couldn't convince him that he was wrong. So who's next?
Amen. Praise the Lord, everybody. That's great. I can't recall the first time I met Uncle Billy. I just know when the first time baby sister brought me here, I just made myself family.
That's right.
So I've been knowing since the first time he brought me here. But one of my fondest memories I have of Uncle Billy is when I was in nursing school, and I had finished school, but we had to take the exit exam to continue, to pass completely out of school. And I failed it like 3 times. And I was like, forget it. I just told myself, like, I'm not doing it no more. Forget it. And so I was in the room, I was just laying down. And the next thing I know, I heard somebody come in the room talking about some, attention, soldier. I turned around. Uncle Billy standing at the door, and I looked at him, I laid back down. He said, I said attention, soldier. He said, stand up. He told me to stand up, and he wanted me to get in like an attention position. So he had me in this garage, standing like this. And then he just walking back and forth like I'm in the army or something and telling me what I need to do. It was the craziest thing ever. And then he just, he was just letting me know, like, babe, we don't do that. You got to stay focused. And then he had prayed the prayer of faith with me. And I went back to school that Monday and I passed my exam. I tested right out. But it was just so funny, him coming in there to me, attention, soldier. I'm like, what in the world? And then also, he had, when Paxton would go out of town, either he'll have Auntie Rose to speak, or he'll tell Lawrence, and Lawrence like a pass the torch or something, and be like, no, tell Toya to do it. So I used, every time Auntie then would go out of town, I always know, like, let me just go on ahead and open this book, because he gonna ask me to speak, and he will always ask me to speak when you guys are gone. So I know, had he still been running on right now while y'all was in Florida, I'd have probably brought the word last week. But he always, and he, he just loved me, and his last moments he came, I want to say around October, November, when he came to church that one Sunday, and he was like, babe, I want to talk to you at the end of service. And so I never got a chance to talk to him because, everybody was going up. So he was like, I'll call you. So it's like, right after that, he went into the hospital. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm not gonna call him. I'll wait for him to call me, so I'm just waiting. I'm like, because now I really want to know what he has to say to me. I know his health is failing, so I want to know, I want my blessing in case he had a blessing. So I'm like, oh my God, what is he saying? I want to say about 2 weeks later, while he was still in the hospital, he called me. It was like 8 p.m. I'm like, no, it was like 5 o'clock, because I was getting out for work. And I was so glad to see his name, like, oh, he's calling. Answer the phone, and he's like, babe, I want you to write me a song. I'm like, huh? That's a world, write you a song? He said, yeah, and I wanted to go like this. He started singing the song. He said, who make the trees? And he said, I want you to sing it just like that. I said, Uncle Bill. I don't know if I can sing that song like that, but I will write it. He basically wanted me to write a song about who God is and what he is. Not about what we do, what we want from him, but who he is and what he did. And so I was sitting and I'm just thinking, like, that whole week I couldn't get anything until I think like the day of that morning, and God just put it right in my song, right in my spirit for the song. And I wrote the song, whatever. I still got it. I'm gonna laminate the paper and put it in a little plaque and hang it up, but those are my fondest memories. Like I'll miss him. I'll miss his long-winded. I'll miss back here when he get up there, he'll start singing, and I'll be like, sing, Uncle Bill. And Auntie Rose will look back at me like, But I do, and I got the last film of him singing Testimony up here, and I watch it often, to sing, because his voice was so strong that day. I was like, whoa, and he was singing, and I heard myself in the back like, sing, Uncle Bill. Because he was singing for real that day. Any other day, he was up there singing. Y'all be laughing. I be like, sing, Uncle Bill. And he gonna get me. But I just love him, and I will miss Uncle Billy. I really will. And I just thank God for just the SCM family.
Yes, amen.
We're gonna let you, and then we're gonna put the tape on. Amen.
Okay. I'm gonna be sure. My fondest memory of Minister Epting, because he always said that Benny. He was always up here. So y'all don't need no harm. And y'all know what I'm gonna say, right? Nigga. I didn't get that. But when I say it, I don't mean it in the negative tone like the white people meant it to be.
That's right.
But he would be up here singing. I said, and I would look at Rose. I said, Rose, why your husband always up here singing? And he don't know these words to the song. He's killing me. He was always singing, didn't never know the words. But that was Billy. That was Minister Epting. I remember that about him. He was funny to me. I used to laugh at him. And I looked at Rose. I said, Rose,
your husband. But he was funny. I thank God that he was part of SCM. SCM wouldn't have been the same if Billy had not have been a part of us. But like I said, every time he tried to sing, I said, you know what, I'm not just teaching the word. But you know, whether he knew the words or not, he was just going to make up some words as he was standing up here anyway. So, like I said, I love Minister Epting. Billy, I miss you. He used to tell me not to say it, but I like saying it. But like I said, it's out of love. It's out of love. It's not, there's nothing negative. Because I say that to Cecil all the time. I got it in my phone, Cecil, my nigga, because that's my nigga. Minister Epting was my nigga. He was funny. Anytime you want to get a laugh, he was always kind of, like Toya said, he was always like a soldier, you know, always trying to boss somebody. And I said, nigga, who you talking to? He used to always try to get smart with me and acting like I was supposed to. I said, nigga, I ain't doing nothing. You better leave me alone. But I loved him. I respected him. I thank God for him. Like I said, I'm just glad he was a part of this ministry. And all y'all niggas here, I love y'all.